Yes.
Unless you want it to.
That Duran, I tell you.
I hope she doesn't show up tonight.
All right, do you guys need power back here?
Do we need power? No.
Well, yes, because my thing is,
She might.
My biceps.
I'll leave this on.
I can look over.
Hi, Herb.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, but maybe I picked something on
Do
it.
you want to sit over?
That's fine, we can scoot down, I can sit over here.
Thanks for, I'm sorry I didn't call you, for the potatoes, thanks for turning them down the other day.
There's a problem connecting to the server.
Oh, you're welcome.
Do we have to connect to the server?
I'm gonna be going up there. Most of this already done, so I can help.
Mike, I give it over here then if you.
So you can see the screen.
Make sure she's got the.
Can learn new tricks, yes. Hey, Lori, do you have the list of things you can send me so that I can pull it up if needed?
May calendar.
Doot. Does anybody need Wi-Fi information?
Dave's got it.
Yeah, if we need it. Which one, Gross? Or,
Yeah,
What are you sending to me?
the publicity form, I
Oh,
wanna pull it up.
okay, yeah, no, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
is that the right one?
Which one? I'm trying to remember what the password.
Just a second. I'm gonna put it up on the screen.
Oh, I was thinking if I got my phone, I could share it, right?
There it is.
Duplicate. Wi-Fi, St. Paul live stream, because that's the one that I remember the password every single
Did you
time.
wanna make this a
Saint
public one right now?
Paul underscore.
'Cause this is live on YouTube.
No, that's up there.
Yeah, I think it's fine for this to be public.
Okay, 'cause it's up on, it's live streamed on YouTube.
I mean, I don't know how many live hits we'll get, but we know people will be able to find it if they look for it.
Okay.
That was my thought
As
process.
far as passwords.
Oh, well,
Just
the
don't-
world can have our
don't
Wi-Fi
show
password.
It's free Wi-Fi now, if anyone wants to pull up in the parking lot.
Are you sure they get on that one here?
Hmm?
Can they get on that one? Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Because the router in that attic functions as an extender for that network. Well, if you have Grove Center, that's probably the better choice, but I never remember the Grove Center password off the top of my head. I think it's Ephesians something. 415? Is everybody connected to Wi-Fi that needs Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll pull that now. Are we ready to begin? I think so. The Lord be with you.
And also with you.
Let us pray. Father in heaven, who have given us the ability to communicate. Sin mars our ability to completely be understood and to let people understand us, but through your good grace, we can make good effort to have good communication. Communication to people inside our community, communication with people outside of our community, communication to everybody who might want to hear the message that we have to give. Bless our conversation, bless the internet airwaves that allow the communication to go through, and bless the computers and the work and our ability to learn and communicate. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Come on in, come on in, come on in. So this is a little bit of a schedule. I don't know how long this is going to take, but I will, by way of introduction, I will introduce a little bit of our purpose tonight, speak a little bit philosophically about communication, because I have to go broad before I go in. That's how we always do things around here, or at least that's how I do things. Then Allie's going to have a formal Canva presentation, which is a design software that is way easier to use than any design software that has ever come out before it. It's really helpful. Chris is going to give us a little lowdown on social media channels. Then I'm going to get a little bit more specific on the website side, on kind of our digital billboard. But back to the initial question, why digital communication? Is because there's communication there. And more it's becoming the dominant medium of communication in our world. So video killed the radio star. Well, social media is killing a lot of other things. But being innovative in terms of communication and making sure that we are communicating in whatever the current medium of the day is actually a Lutheran tradition. And it starts with the Lutheran Reformation, which would have not have gotten off to such a success if it wasn't for the wonderful new technology of the Gutenberg press, able to mass produce Luther's pamphlets and teachings in the 1500s. That was the social media of the day. Luther nailed 95 Theses right on the homepage of the community on the Wittenberg doors. And so communication has always been a really important part of our Lutheran identity. The Lutheran Hour was the largest Christian radio program in the world for many years, and especially during the heights of radio being the dominant communication platform, it meant real societal influence came from the Lutheran Hour, which is now a podcast, more than it is a radio show, even though it still is a radio show. And so we want to talk about these digital communication. Just to kind of illustrate the point, one of the things that I have said quite often is that our website is the largest billboard we have as a congregation. If you're thinking, do we want to throw money into something like a digital sign, or do we want to spend more time on our website? The website is going to have more active communication and more engaged communication than a road sign ever will. And just to illustrate that point, I will come to our welcome, Doris, and see if I can make this a little bit bigger.
Were you gone?
So, our website, which is stpaulsb.org, in the last 30 days has had 207 unique visitors. 207 unique visitors.
What does unique mean?
It means an individual from an individual device. So there's no, someone logging in multiple times. I check our website probably about a dozen times a month, but it doesn't count me in that stat. It counts all individuals who, by means of our Facebook page or Google, stumble their way onto stpaulsb.org, and they're looking to see what we're about. 207 different people did that.
Wow.
Their purposes might be many. It might be members of our congregation that are checking the calendar on the calendar page. It might be people who are looking for easy access to the live stream if they missed worship. Donald.
Does that, with that unique number, it's the first time that device visits it, right? Or does it count each time that device?
So that's unique visitors within the last 30 days.
Right.
So it doesn't say anything about they could have been unique visitors last month too.
No, I'm saying in the last 30 days. Say I'm looking it up on my phone once, and then I go a second time.
Yeah, that would correspond to site sessions.
Cool.
So the second time doesn't count in unique visitors. And so we had 281 site sessions during the last 30-day period. And I don't know how they're doing it, but people are still looking at the blog posts I used to put up there, and I even have taken access to, and somehow they still find a way to it. I'm not completely sure how that happens. But we can talk a little bit about that when we actually look at the website.
Nothing that gets on the internet ever goes away.
That's true. It's very much true. I don't know, maybe there's people in another city somewhere Googling my name ferociously or something. I don't know.
Creepers.
Yeah. So I just use that to illustrate where the dominant medium of how people find, this is the Yellow Pages these days. It used to be you would pay money to have a really big Yellow Page ad. I haven't touched Yellow Pages in 10 years. I, by virtue, Google literally everything I need to look for, and that's where most people have transitioned to these days. So our website is our Yellow Page, for a good comparison. So that just gets the idea of the importance of this. Any relationship requires good communication. And how proactive we are and how intentional we are in forming that communication communicates your heart. If you're haphazard or half-hearted in your attempts to communicate, people will receive that message. But if you commit to presenting a high-quality level of communication, they see your intentionality, they see your effort, they see your desire to make that connection. Any questions on any of my kind of big picture mumbo jumbo? Okay, I think Natalie, I'll let you take it away. And I can be your slide clicker here, and then when you want to get into Canva, I'll let you take the seat.
Okay. Am I going to walk around anywhere without
Yeah.
feedback? Okay. All right. Let's go. So, Canva, it's like Jeremiah said, it's a design tool that I use every day. I use it all the time. And it's used for digital and print design. You can use it for so many different things, and it's really, really easy to use. Now, I'm not a sponsor of Canva. I'm just a really big fan. This is not paid promotion. But hey, Canva, you can pay me for it. It'd be great. Okay, so what's Canva? Is anybody already familiar with Canva?
A little.
Okay, what is it?
A design.
Online-friendly design tool.
It's a user-friendly online design tool.
Someone can read.
Essentially, it's a website. It's a website, but they also have app forms that you can use on an iPad. You can also use it on a phone, but a phone is a really small screen to be working with when you're trying to move things around. So I would not recommend using it on your phone. But it's compatible with Windows and Apple and Google devices because it's web-based. It's not specific to what type of device you're using. This is what it looks like.
You want me to click?
Yeah, click. Okay, so what can Canva do? It can make a whole lot of different things. It can make slides, like presentation slides for like in worship or for whatever, like PowerPoint slides, but just more design options. It can make infographics. It can also make event flyers. That's the one that I use most. I use Canva most for event flyers. But as you can see, there's a whole lot more that you can make on Canva. They have like a document function. You can make whiteboards, presentations, social media posts, like images that you might want to put on social media. You can design whatever you want your image to be and download it, and it's exactly the right size, file size, pixel, all that stuff for whatever social media you're looking for.
You're going to be clicking yourself because
All right.
I got to wrangle up.
All right. You can also make videos. I haven't played around with that, so this is not a tutorial on Canva videos because I don't know how to do that. But any image that you make, you can also make print products with that, like mugs, mouse pads, if those are still a thing, T-shirts, keychains, whatever you want to, like merchandise sort of a thing. You can create the image that you want and then use that image to print in whatever way you want. Okay, there's a whole lot more. These are a few examples of things that I have made in Canva. our Living Last Supper flyer, the movie night flyer, some slides that you've already seen in worship. I've made all of these in Canva, and
I made the Christmas one.
I edited it. Okay, Jeremiah made it, but I edited it. And this presentation was also made in Canva.
I would say about 50-50 sermon slides have been made in Canva. Sometimes I just do it in Keynote for speed, but
Keynote, for you Windows people, Keynote is PowerPoint for Mac.
Is that what is used for the standard slides?
yeah, all of our worship slides are done in Keynote.
Okay.
And the primary reason for that is because there is a cloud folder where all those exist, and so Doris or I can contribute to those slides, and they appear in the folder automatically on Sunday morning, where the file is selected for the Sunday morning worship deck. And that's why it's an Apple Cloud church these days. Anyway, that's kind of off topic.
Okay. So, why should you use Canva instead of other design tools? There's lots of other design programs out there. Its predecessors would be like Microsoft Publisher, Adobe InDesign, and Photoshop sort of thing. What else? Paint. I mean, could also technically be a design tool.
Word can do a lot of it.
Word can do a lot of things.
Pages can do some of it, you know.
Yep. But a word processor is going to have a lot less design options. And like with a Word document, a lot of times the settings, you're stuck with certain margins, and you have to kind of play with the settings to make sure that you can format things and get things where you want it. But with Canva, it's much more freeform. You can move whatever text wherever you want it, and you can put whatever pictures wherever you want them and kind of like move them around, and you're not stuck to Microsoft Word or Pages set structure.
And there'll be some demonstration too here in a little bit to explain, to show that. But it's something I kind of want to say about kind of how software as a whole has been transitioning over the years. It used to be originally that you had to have a high degree of technical knowledge in order to really get proficient, and even with the Microsoft Office suite. You almost had to take a whole class on how to make sure that you could format things appropriately in Microsoft Word and Publisher. Photoshop has a high learning curve. There's this toolbar on the side. You pick a tool, you have no idea what it does. I tried to teach myself Photoshop in high school, and it was really hard. Really large learning curve. As software has developed over the last decade, and there's devices in everybody's hands, there's tablets everywhere, the move is to make software more intuitive and user-friendly. And so the more comfortable you are with something even like a touch screen, or just moving things around very basically with a mouse, you have really all the skills you need in order to really become very proficient with these newer software very quickly, because they're designed to be very easy to use. And because of the ability of our devices now, there's enough like auto assists and things that it becomes almost seamless. The degree of technical knowledge you need to have in order to use these tools is greatly diminished than what it used to be even 10, 15 years ago. And so, I want you to not be afraid and hear all these things about everything it can do and think, oh my, that is way beyond me. That is way beyond me. I think you'll be surprised at how intuitive and easy to use it is. And basically the thought is, I want to do this. Whatever it is you're thinking, there's a pretty easy way to do that. And really the big thing is just playing around with it and seeing what the tools do, and boom, it's like, oh man, it becomes a lot more easier than you think it might be. But but I just want to underscore that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like to call Canva like it's a design playground. It's an artist's palette. You don't have to exactly know, you don't have to be Monet, you don't have to be Picasso to paint something. You can use these tools to create what you want, and you can make it look as professional as you want it to. You can spend as much time as you want on it, but it's a playground.
We compared it to just even physical scrapbooking the other day. You know, as complicated as scrapbooking is with cutting out the pictures and making sure your design elements and making sure things look nice. I mean, designing a Canva document is just as easy as physically putting things on a page. It really is that user-friendly and easy to get a grasp of.
Okay, but also, and one thing that just came to me about why use Canva, why create eye-catching slides or events? Why is that important?
It's
For advertising?
professional look. I mean, it draws you, or it's interesting to people looking at it.
Right.
Attention is the currency of the realm.
Attention is the currency of the realm. Yeah. Yeah. You want to look, that's really good. That's a good quote. I
Are
like
you
that.
quoting something?
I'm re-quoting Pirates of the Caribbean 2. But instead of adding,
yeah.
changing what the currency is to fit the day and age.
Okay.
That's synthesis and transformation.
But-
That's good mental skills there.
But absolutely, that the more professional that your flyers and slides and things look, the more, well, it looks like it's more, it grabs people's attention. It gives people, gives you people's respect right away. Like, oh, you know what you're talking about. If you know what you're talking about with the, you know, if you can make a nice flyer, then maybe you know something more about something else, and I want to learn from you.
Well, I think it comes back to something I think that you told me, Doris, that President May spoke about. When you show up to a church property, you look at the landscaping, right?
That and the bulletin boards.
Yeah, the bulletin boards and the landscaping. When you, and again, it's back to this good communication thing, where you can see where there has been intentional energy and effort placed. That communicates how people value their church, how they value community, how they value ultimately the person they're trying to get the message across to. And so it's just another medium for that qualitative communication. It's digital landscaping.
Okay. All right. So how do you use Canva? First, well, you create an account and log in. You don't have to create an account right now, but you can. You're welcome to. You go on the
Web bar?
web bar. What is that called?
Toolbar. Toolbar.
That thing. Go to the web bar, canva.com, and it'll be real
So
easy. It's right there.
If you have a device with you, feel free to give it a shot.
Yep. If you want to sign up for an account right now, you can.
Maybe you already have.
Maybe you
So
already
I
have it.
have one, but I have no idea where to go from there.
All right, we'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm there, I mean.
All right. If you have one, go ahead and log in, and we'll play with it. So as you're creating an account, you're going to be given the choice of free or pro. Do you sign up for the free version or the pro version? Both are really great options. The free version is really good for novice designers. If this is your first time, your first rodeo, pro or free is really great. It's ideal for occasional or entry-level designs. If you're just starting out, free will get you by, and you can do a whole lot with it. It's like a 12-count box of crayons. You can make a lot of pictures with a 12-count box of crayons, because you got a lot of that's a lot of colors to work with. The pro version, however, is it's great for for intermediate or more advanced designs, because there's a lot more available. There's a lot more choices. There's a lot more graphics, a lot more fonts, a lot more tools that you can use with the pro version. I don't know how much it costs.
$120 a year.
$120 a year.
A church that we can share, or?
We're working on that because actually we should better get a free, we've been paying.
Mhm.
I learned something about that I can talk to you about
Okay,
later.
that's fine.
Yeah,
So we'll,
that's a little bit more in the weeds than for our purposes.
okay,
Free, right?
Yeah.
but we can, but then we can also,
I
even
think
if
we-
we pay, we can also add people
To a team.
to a team.
Right. There's a limit to how many can be
I
on a
know.
team, but that is a good way to get
I
started.
think it's 5,
It says 8.
8? Okay, it might be 8.
And it's also, Canva Pro is free for educators, teachers, have access, teachers can sign up for Canva and have all the pro features for free. And also registered nonprofits, which there'll be a conversation about that in a bit. It's like a 64 count box of crayons with a sharpener in the back. You can do a whole lot more with it. All right, so let's
That must be like.
Let's
like,
jump in.
More of a business size account rather than
All right, Canva. So when you sign in, this is what it looks like. And we're going to make a flyer together, because flyer is the thing that I make the most. So then first you choose what size of document you're wanting to make. What kind of project are you wanting to make? I want to make a flyer, an 8.5 by 11 flyer.
But that doesn't mean that's what you're running off. You can do that and still run it off at a 5 by 7 size or half the size.
You have to
No.
enter payment information to get into a free account.
I did not. No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to provide credit card information to get into a free account.
Do I need to slow down?
I'm just,
Yes and no.
How'd you get here, what are we doing?
Yep, I clicked
yeah,
on,
you have to go to I prefer.
here, I'll go back to
individual
home.
Nope.
Okay. So this is what you're looking, if you're looking at this, find flyer.
Flyer, got it. Nope.
If it's not up there, then you can search in the search bar, flyer,
Yeah, you have to sign up.
then you'll
with
get
your
to
email address.
8.5 by 11. Really, technically, it doesn't really matter what
Don't give
type
it
of document it says that it is. If it's, what you're wanting to look at is the size.
Does this have like templates also for like, programs and stuff like that?
Yes,
It's got so many
Yes.
templates
Really? Okay,
for anything.
yes.
awesome.
It's got colors.
Okay.
If you want to make your screen a little bit bigger, do Command plus.
Do you want me to make my
Yeah,
screen
so
bigger?
that people can see what you're doing easier. There you go.
All right. So yeah. So, well, that's a presentation. I don't want to do that.
Maybe we should have this in the sanctuary.
Flyer. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
All right, but I'm gonna go down to my recent design since I just started one. Okay, and the first thing that pops up are templates, ideas of things that you can use to get you started. Let's make up an event, and then we'll make a flyer together. Okay? Okay, what kind of event? Like some sort of church event that would be happening. Eclipse, okay? An eclipse party.
It's supposed to happen in this area.
Around 3? Okay,
Okay, so gather at 2:30. Make sure you bring your glasses.
gather at 2:30.
This is when
Bring
you
your
answer
glasses.
all the questions on the form.
So following the PR form, right?
Yeah, I'll pull that up. And the evangelism committee has worked together. Can you pull it up on your email? Lori sent it to you. The evangelism committee has put together a PR form that, like, whenever there's an event, that event leader will fill out what kind of information needs to go out for publicity. And
the
so that's,
timeline, yeah.
and the timeline and all that.
I'm not gonna pull up my email on this.
Right,
I can send it to you.
that's what I was asking, if I creating something in the
Okay,
eighth.
there-
It'll look like this. Okay? So. Okay. So this is the kind of information you'll need to look for when you're creating your flyer. You need to know, okay, so who's putting it on?
This is from where?
This is a form
But that's not
that,
Canva, that's.
this is
the
not
form
in
that we've
Canva.
got.
Yeah, this is a form that we've got.
Okay,
But this is helpful because it helps you think about all the information you need.
right, so
Yeah.
you don't forget it.
So,
Yeah.
who is doing it? St. Paul Lutheran Church. What is it? It's an eclipse card.
Because when you if you're going to make a flyer or a slide for an event, if you're missing an essential part of the information, people aren't going to show up. People are going to be confused. If you're missing the time, people aren't. Okay, great. There's an eclipse party, but when do I show up?
2:30 p.m.
Okay. The location. Great, there's an eclipse party at 2:30, but where do I need to go?
I just typed in.
Just like if you're sending an invitation to a party, people need to know exactly.
And
all
just
the
because
information.
we have a park ranger with us, why don't we have this party at St. Pat's?
Yes.
St. Patrick Park. St. Patrick's Why? An eclipse is happening.
Where's the,
So one of the things that the
We can witness the rapture.
is big on, make sure you include an address if you're filling out the form.
Yep.
Okay, so I know it's at St. Patrick's Park. I want something more specific than that. So I'm just gonna Google St. Patrick's
So I'm kind of, that's fine.
Park, South Bend.
It's on Laurel Road.
There we go. I have the address here. Look at that.
You don't want to open it up, or you want to copy it.
I just don't want to copy.
You gotta drag and, yep.
Copy paste.
Maybe, you know, whatever.
There you go.
And if anybody needs these
Well,
forms, Doris has them, or the evangelism team will have them.
50651. Laurel Road. South
Okay.
We're at 46637.
Okay. And also, for an event, there generally should be a contact person that people can contact with questions. So you'll need to include, if it's the church website, or, church email, or the church phone number, put it on there. So that if anyone has any questions, they have someone to contact.
So, if you were planning this event, you could check, I will provide my own design flyer. You're learning how to do that right now. Or you need design assistance. Do you want this to go into the church, or do you want it to go outside the church?
Internal PR, just in the church. External, outside.
Does it need to be in the bulletin, the newsletter, or Sunday slide, mass email, flyer, website, social media, RLA? All these things are possible. But we don't know to do it unless we know to do it.
And also, as I work in the office at RLA, if you are making a flyer if you're having an event that is going to be advertised at RLA, you need to have a black and white friendly, design. Because that's how we print things. We print black and white designs on colored paper.
Okay.
Is there a way to turn my brightly colored poster into a black and white poster?
Yes, grayscale.
Yes, you can grayscale it.
But you
Yes.
have to think about what it might look like, grayscale.
You have to think about what it might look like grayscale and print it on colored paper. Sometimes it makes it less readable. And if you have a dark background in the back,
Let's get to the design
Okay.
aspect.
if you have a dark back, it's using a lot of ink.
So grayscale, you can do a quick preview and look at it and see what
Yeah.
it looks like.
We can sit down and
Yep.
start doing it.
All right, so let's,
You got about, I'd say 10 minutes.
all right, so let's make a design. So let's look up here, Eclipse Party, see if they already have something. Look at all that.
Oh, wow. Did you just type in Eclipse?
I typed in Eclipse Party into the template.
So notice the template pops up anything with party in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
The very-
typed
very
in
first one was
Eclipse
like an
viewing.
The first
That
one.
that first one was the wasn't it?
That one?
Yeah.
All right.
That's the one.
Ooh, that looks pretty.
I got that.
No. then you
Okay.
can take it.
So then, to change the
Oh,
text,
is that one a pro
It's
one?
okay.
Yeah, it's a pro. That's
yeah,
That's okay, do your thing.
okay.
You can take theirs and then modify.
Then you double click into the, like, if there's a text, something that you want to change, so I want to change the date here, double click right into it, and then you can change it.
April 8th.
Okay? And look, it prompts you to give you an address. Oh, look, people need to know where this is happening. Okay? I'm just going to leave that. Oh, say text.
No, go ahead and show how, you just click into the box and change the text. So if you're familiar with the idea of a text box, then you can do that. But I see some of you, yeah, it's a pro design. Some of the people are trying to copy what you're doing.
Okay.
Why don't you go find another design real quick? That's not a pro design. And just show them how,
Okay,
so that they can
if you
find
don't
the
want to
same
do a
design.
pro design or use a template, you can start from scratch. Go over to elements is where you're going to start.
I want a picture of a moon.
Okay? I want a picture of a moon. So then you type in the search bar.
No way, okay.
Boom.
But
Lots of
find
different
one
pictures.
that's not a pro one.
Do we want to go for graphic or photo?
Photo.
All right, photo.
See all.
See these little the little crowns? That means it's pro.
But
okay.
look, that one is
So
not
this
pro.
one is not a pro. There we go.
And then you can make it bigger or smaller by dragging one of the corners.
Yep. And then
You
look
gotta
at
click
this.
on a corner.
And I'm moving it around, and see how those pink lines show up? Click and drag.
Or you can click on it and grab the little,
Don't take anything for granted, Natalie. Just try to
You're right,
see
you're
what
right.
you're doing.
Or click it. Does it have the little
yep,
compass?
you click on it.
Okay.
It might have the little compass where you move it. And as I'm moving it around, do you see those pink guidelines that are coming up?
That helps you with
It
alignment.
helps you with aligning it.
So, have you ever seen graphic design where you can just tell things aren't right in the middle of a page, or everything's just kind of cattywampus? Canva has these grid lines that your designs will automatically snap to.
How'd you get to that?
It just automatically happens
It's
when you move it.
automatic.
Like when you're trying to move.
Add a picture, add a graphic in, and move it around. And
You go really slow to get it.
What do you want to
Oh, I wanted to make this, if I wanted this bright.
The
The
glasses?
glasses.
I'm assuming the
So,
text box
I
is
would
like
go
a
to
text
edit.
box for other things.
Yep. If you need to add text, look over here. There's a place on the side toolbar to add text. You can add a template that's already pre-made, or you can add your own and move it wherever you want.
So Donald here made his own eclipse by making the background black,
Okay.
putting a sun,
Let's see.
and go and show this to other students.
Nice.
So I made the background black, and then I layered the sun behind. I brought the moon forward
Right,
to,
and the sun behind.
yep.
Yep, wow.
And so that he showed the ability, because you can layer your images in different ways by toggling with the position tool. So the position will allow you to either bring text above or behind elements.
And so like there's another way to do it. If you, I right clicked and looked at layer.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
And if you, when you're working with text, if you look up at the top toolbar, it's gonna look really familiar. If you're familiar with Word or Pages, you know, any sort of like Word document sort of word processor, it's going to have a place for the text color, the font, the text size. Do you want it bold? Do you want it underlined? And layering, what kind of alignment do you want it
So,
to have?
make the text bigger, Natalie, and then put it behind the moon. Is someone trying to do something but they don't know quite how to do it? Raise your hand. I can kind of come and kind of help show you. And so by working with the layers, now the moon is in front of the text, and now she can cover part of the text if she wants to. Or you can put the text on top of the moon.
I want the moon in the back.
Okay, then put the moon in the back.
I want the moon in the back.
That's good.
Another thing that I use a lot for flyers is the transparency tool. It's this checkerboard looking one. It changes how much white is coming through, like how opaque your image is. I think it makes things more print friendly, but also it can help things be more readable. So like if I put this eclipse party right on top of this, well, this moon is pretty black. And so it makes that black text hard to read. So, but if I take down the transparency, and it pops.
But see, look, yeah, because look at that. By lowering the transparency, allowed the words to pop more. So that's a very important thing when you're designing any sort of either print or digital image where you're mixing images and text, is making sure your text is easily readable. That text stands out. And that's a trick that I use all the time, is changing transparencies of images so that the text can pop. There's a number of different ways to do that. You want to use a contrasting color. And so if you know a little bit of color theory, if you say you have like a really orange image, do blue for your text, because that's opposite orange on the color wheel. But that's getting a little technical with art theory. But you want to, making sure that it contrasts. That's the key. If it feels like it contrasts, you're on the right way to making sure your text is very readable. A noisy graphic design is where there isn't a focus or a focal point. There's images and there's text and they're clashing and fighting each other. You want to make sure that the key thing you want to be taken away is the most prominent part of the design. And then the images and things can accent the message you're ultimately trying to get.
Another tool that's very useful that I want to show you guys.
Can you just talk about what you did with changing the background color?
Yeah. Yep.
Again, don't take anything for granted here.
Okay. So I clicked not on the moon, not on the text box that I have, but just on the document as a whole.
On the paper.
And then you see up here this little square? Can you see that?
Yep.
That's the background color. Okay?
One of the things that Canva does that is really helpful is it will pay attention to the images that you have in your document, and it will pull colors that automatically go with that.
So it complements it.
Yes, and this is where Canva really goes the next level, because it provides these automatic tools at your fingertips to just help you be able to do good design pretty quickly. So you can select your color, and the key action here, I think that we need to take a moment to think about. interacting with an object. You have to pay attention to what you're clicked into, if that makes sense. Kind of like if you're highlighting text, if you have to click the text, now you're in the world of editing that text. And so your tools will know that. It will correspond to what you're trying to do.
So wherever you're clicked on, your tools follow where you're.
Yes,
clicked at.
that's exactly
Yep.
what I'm trying to get at.
Yep.
So if you want to do something with the moon, you click the moon, you're going to be in the world that helps you work on the moon. You want to work on the background, you click on the background, now you have the tools to help you work on the background. This is part of making it easier than, say, other programs in the past. It's all contextual. But you have to pay attention to what you're clicked on, because I think the number one thing that people will have tension with is, well, I want to do this, but I don't see the tool for it. You just have to make sure you're clicked into the world, so to speak, of what you're trying to change. Does that make sense?
The print inside.
And if you, I want to go show you the color change. So if I want to change the color of this background, see, I've clicked into the background, and now I clicked on the background color. I can pick any of these preset colors, any default color that I want, but what if I don't like those?
And there's gradients.
There's gradients too, but what if I don't like those and I want to make my own color? You add a new color. You can slide this little ball on the bottom to change what the base color is. Let's go for purple. Purple is my favorite. And then you can move up here to pick exactly what shade you want.
But so, okay, so pause there. What's the issue right now with the design?
Can't read it.
You can't read it.
So there's a couple different options here. You could work with the background and get back to a different color, or you could go to the text. And so, Natalie, why don't you go to the text? You go
So
up
we
to
go up to
text
text
color.
color.
You get the same color world over here. And you still have these corresponding colors that you can pick. I've been really enjoyed not actually just picking straight white, but doing kind of an off-white that accents the colors of the design. It just kind of gives a little bit of a nice touch to it. If you're not going to just pure black or pure white, but kind of doing an accent or like a form of gray, or maybe the gray has a little bit of a brown tint if you're using another brown element. Again, it facilitates and provides all those colors for you.
So with that idea, should you wait to change your background until you've got other things in?
Yeah, I would say so. You know, you kind of want to get the key images that you really want to put center, and kind of you can build your design around that. And so if you notice, a lot of my design work with our slides for worship, I keep to a very particular color palette, and I try to keep everything accent and fitting with the ink illustrations. So I draw all the colors from those illustrations to make sure that things are kind of flowing and are consistent. So that, and what that does is it makes it smooth on the eyes. When you have a lot of jarring elements together, it can kind of be I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you're looking at something crunchy.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's too much stimulus on the eye. Like if there's 5 different radio stations playing at the same time, it's too much to listen to.
So that might look like white when you look at it, but it's actually kind of a more of a dustier peach that kind of corresponds to the hues in the moon.
Yep.
So Natalie, can you add a text box to this?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
we want to put our own, can you show that for
Yeah.
people?
Yeah.
So
There's two ways to add text box. One is over here on the black toolbar on the side, click on text.
So let's pause there for just a second. If you want to bring something new into your design, this is the column where that lives. This is how this think of the left-hand side is, I want to pull something new to pull it in, you got to go to the left to find it to pull it in.
Yep.
Okay? So then you can pick one of these default styles. You could pick
Any of these automatically
these templates
stylized.
that are already styled. You just change the text and the color, the font, the placement is already right there, however you want to have it. Or you can click the purple add a text box and it'll add one right there. Right, he says your paragraph text.
If you recently used, can you still color in the color wheel?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Here, I'll use this Feeling Cute one.
Mm-hmm.
And I clicked on the Feeling. If I want to change the color of Feeling, I clicked on just the Feeling part. Then you change the color.
Okay,
There we go.
wow.
No, that actually just
Oh,
changed
actually,
the,
that changed
the outside, because there's an effect.
because there's an effect. So then you click on effect. Oh, look, it's got this cool effect, and this is how I change the undercolor.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But see how there's like a layering effect? That was under the effect tab under the text editing.
Yep.
Yep. And another thing that this text right here is doing, it's something that Microsoft Word also does, but it's grouping. If you have two or more elements that you want to stay together, you have them how you want them. You just want to be able to move them around the page, but you don't want to change the spacing. You can group them.
How do you do that?
I'm going to ungroup these.
I actually don't know if I know how to group.
Okay. The way that you group them, hold down the shift bar, hold down the shift key. Click on one of the elements while you're still holding the shift bar, the shift button. Click on another element that you want it to go together. And then look at this little toolbar that comes up. Hit group. And there we go. You can move it together.
And see, then again, and that's showing the Canva magic again, because it's giving you contextual tools where you would think to look for them before you even have to think about it.
When you group two word groups together, can you still individually adjust their colorings, or is that?
Yes, you can, but it helps.
It becomes more difficult.
It does become more difficult. But if you want to change their colorings, really all you have to do is ungroup them, then work with each one individually, and then when you're done, regroup them.
I usually just keep everything free floating and keep on arranging them manually.
I use grouping a lot. But okay, so the second way to add new text, is if you already have a text box on your project. You click on that text box, and there's this button right here. Duplicate. Copy and paste. You make another one. Just like it. And then you can move it, and you can change anything about the other one. You just made a new text box.
I think 90% of my design work is
Is
copying
duplicate.
and pasting things.
And then you
Honestly.
can just,
Step on it or changing the,
Changing the text
wow.
to keep the styling consistent. That's what I mostly
You
do.
want to keep the same font and color and size, but you want to change the text.
That's why, if you looked at my sermon slide documents, I'll keep like 5 or 6 sermons in one document, so I can just keep on pulling the design elements of like how I formatted the Bible text and things. So I'm keeping my design principles consistent.
speaking of design principles, I want to speak on a few tips on that design to make sure that your message is getting across. It's fun to play with new fonts. It's anytime someone gets onto a new design platform where they can change the fonts. Oh, there's all these fun fonts that I can use. But make sure that it's readable. If your font is not readable, you're not communicating.
Looks good.
So you got to make sure that people can read it. And then the second one is that if you're making a slide, especially like if you're going to make a slide for like a projector or if it's going to be shown on a TV, generally speaking, darker backgrounds and lighter text is better for the machine and easier on the eyes.
That's true.
Say that again.
But print is the opposite. Yes.
Say that one more time.
Okay.
If you're making a slide,
Yeah. Now,
Generally
slide or a
speaking,
flyer or-
Slide.
a slide for like the projector. Generally speaking, a darker background and lighter text is going to be easier on the machine and easier on the eyes. It's going to be
Okay.
more readable.
But it's opposite for text.
but it's opposite for print.
Okay, so you want darker.
But those, aren't hard and fast. Like for an announcement slide, it can be black on white. That's fine. But there's a reason why, like the worship slides predominantly are white text on dark backgrounds. It's intentional. It helps the life of the projectors too, because you think about it, like the white elements are when the projector, like the diodes or whatever, it's a laser, I know these days, but they're going full brightness to make that white appearance pop. But think about it, we project on white walls, and so it has to really shoot bright in order to make a white visual appearance. And so the darker it is, it's like you're telling the projector, chill, you don't have to work as hard on this part of the projection. And so it ends up helping the life of the bulbs. At least that was the conventional knowledge. I don't know, we have laser projectors now. I don't know if it's the same, but it probably is.
Okay, to wrap up, when you're done with your design, when you have it the way you want it, you click share up here in the corner, and then you go to download.
Upper right corner is share.
Upper right corner is share. You go to download. You can choose. What?
Want me to do the file formats?
Yeah.
For a basic printing, PDF works great. That's fine. I have found that PNG is oftentimes a very flexible file format because it's an image. And so you can throw images in emails really easy and they'll stay images.
And then you get on that drop-down arrow in case anybody.
Yep.
Okay, so we went share, download, file type. File type. And so if you're just going to print it, PDF print is great. If you want to say you want to post, because we're going to segue to social media here pretty soon, if you want to post it on Facebook or if you want to include it in an email, I recommend PNG. And it also says that's the suggested one, PNG, which is a type of image file.
So it's better than JPEG?
These days, PNGs are preferred to JPEGs. I don't know all the computer science reasons for that. PNGs don't lose quality as readily when you zoom in and out. I think that's part of it. The world has kind of converted the PNGs from JPEGs. Yeah.
If we wanted to share it with Doris or the church to print for a slide, what type of?
To print?
Well, I mean to share on a slide.
So I would go PNG, because she could drag that and just drop it in a slide easy.
Okay.
Or unless you want to correct me on that.
And you can take it
But
once
we
you
need to
see
do a
it.
different format than like a flyer.
Right. So
That's a whole different.
you have to pay attention. Yeah, you have to pay attention to the aspect ratio. So there's another template for slides that grabs the 16:9 aspect ratio of a monitor.
But it's PNG for the slide, if we want.
I think so, because there is drag and drop.
If somebody sends you a PNG, you can always take a picture.
Yeah. It's flexible. It's flexible. You can do anything you want with a PNG. You can print a PNG. It just.
You can share
Yeah,
it.
question.
You can share it, and then she can pull it up on hers if it's a team.
If Shereen and I, yeah.
If we want to look at if I design something and I want to just get her input on it
Yeah.
for Sunday school, we can share it then? Is that how we do it?
I mean, you can do that.
Yes.
Say you're like all gung-ho into Canva, and you want to do this more and more. I'm sure there's a way that you could be added to the same team, and then wherever you or Doris are, you could both log in, and she could look at it while you're even working on it.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
share it with her.
Right.
Right.
I think,
But if you're like on a team, then you would here you can add collaborators. Theo, let's not unplug things.
By your,
Yep, right up here by my picture, and the plus button right there, you can add a collaborator so that someone else can also edit it and look at it. And then back out on the home page, you can add someone as a part of
If
your
she just
team.
wanted to send it to me, like in an email right now, what would she have to do?
Take
Um,
a picture of it and send it.
No.
I would say download it as a PDF file and just attach that to an email.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or,
Yeah.
since you're using an app, you can just hit text message and it'll send the picture.
Yeah, you could share it via text message.
We're gonna have a party, we'll get there.
Yeah, we're gonna do
We'll
it.
get there.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
This is planting the seeds that we're
Yep.
going to grow into a
We'll do
vineyard.
little steps at a time.
You just have to
Yeah.
work with it.
Also,
Yep.
We'll just concentrate on one
I-
thing.
I want to jump off of something that Lori just said. You just have to work with it. The point is you just have to play. You just have to play, and the more you play with it, the more you'll discover things. I think, Doris was all giddy because she discovered a tool that allows you to delete the background of a photo.
If you notice their photo up there, I deleted the background, if you notice.
And because she noticed that I was doing that in different places, but I didn't even
figured it out on my own.
I didn't even have to show her. I was like, yay!
show her the AI feature.
Okay. Then one more thing, because I'm famous for this, hitting the wrong button and all of a sudden the screen's.
There's an undo arrow right on the
So
top of the
I'll
screen.
I'll never lose it, right? I
Right.
don't have
Yep.
to save it.
If you close
It
it.
auto
It
saves.
auto saves.
Yeah,
As
there's
long
no.
as you
yeah.
are connected to internet, it will auto save.
Okay. 'cause
If your internet goes down, then it might have trouble auto saving because it's a web-based program.
Because I don't
uh,
save stuff like when I'm doing my agenda or whatever, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah, you don't have to manually save with
Okay.
Canva.
Yeah.
all right.
So if you do
It was
something.
you're kind of reminding me of Josiah, who's playing a Pokemon game right now. And in the older Pokemon games, you had to manually save.
Yeah,
But in the newer ones, it just auto saves.
Yeah, there's no floppy disk icon in Canva.
pretty soon you won't have to play the
And,
game
and
at
so
all. Just-
Josiah didn't know to save, and so he lost his entire road trip worth of Pokemon progress. I'm like, oh, we all had to learn this lesson once, son.
And you laughed at
Gotta,
it.
yep, gotta save.
Yeah.
We should, in order for time, we really should segue to the next piece.
Nice.
Thank you, Natalie, for our Canva lesson.
Thank you.
Um,
Play with it. There's a reason why preschoolers learn through play. You can learn that way too.
All right, Chris.
Okay, Chris.
Also, really quickly to piggyback on her
Canva
Canva.
parties.
I think that'll pick you up, but I think it'll be
Really quickly to
I mean, they have
piggyback on
wine-
her
They have wine and
Canva
Canvas
thing.
parties. Why not
Yeah.
Canva?
Canva.
Hey, everybody, pay attention.
Sorry, we're on a Lyman Canva party.
Whoops. But to go along with Canva, I know some of you at home like to do things with pictures of your kids or grandkids, that kind of stuff. You do have, can you go back to Canva really quick? Okay. I just want to point something. In this little uploads area, I mean, I know on the app you can upload, you can have it connected to your photo roll, so you can upload your own pictures, your own stuff that you have, and add it to the design too. So you're not just trapped with what they have. You can put in family pictures, all that kind of stuff. So,
Nice. Oh, there's Natalie.
Aw,
Can you take the background out?
yep,
she's going to the Eclipse.
There you go, right there.
there's the background mover. And
Now look at it.
Speaking about it.
How'd you do it?
Now
There she
it's-
is.
Wait,
But everybody keeps coming through.
Bring your glasses.
That was right after
We
the
cleaned
living
them
last
and
summer.
remarked.
and I'm one.
In a month.
Interview.
They're ready to go.
News interview. I did my makeup.
But you,
there's honestly so, I mean, there's
Now she blends in.
There's templates for everything on Canva, like you can find coloring pages, you can find word search, it's insane. And they're always.
Because Natalie is feeling cute.
she is feeling cute.
And she's feeling cute at the Eclipse party.
Sorry, I'm just playing.
Thanks.
She brought her glasses.
Violet, you're turning violet.
You're turning violet, Violet.
Oompa.
That's okay.
Oompa.
Better- better Violet than
I've
Eureka.
got another puzzle for you.
Need to put a tan
So-
on her, not Merkel.
Oh, there
There
she
you go.
is.
There you go.
Yeah, it's better.
Mustard.
Oh.
Go.
Now she's got it.
I know, she's got it.
So,
You were green there.
While he's messing around with that, to transition into social media with Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that, there are on Canva, there's pre-made templates that if you're doing it for a Facebook post or something like that, you can easily bring that up and build it with that, where it has animation, that kind of stuff. I'll let you delve into that and play around with that, because like I said, playing around is probably the best thing you can do. You can't hurt
We have
anything.
your number,
You
we
can't.
have your number.
You have my number?
Yeah, in case we have problems.
If I had $1 for every time I had to FaceTime and help fix something.
Now, just you be still.
I wasn't just talking about you. I've had to deal with my brothers too. So.
Well,
He's helped me
But yeah,
Speed
so
dials.
on the church's Facebook page. So when we're doing a business Facebook page, you have a little bit more extra things that you can do that you can't normally do with a normal Facebook page. So if we want to create posts, we can actually pre-schedule to be posted at a certain time, certain date, anywhere down the road. You can set that up
Hey, look,
while
he's
doing that.
live.
Oh, hey, look, I'm live right now on Facebook.
Oh, look at you.
Hi, Chris.
Hi. Let's see the delay. Okay. But so and posting on our church's website is a little bit different than posting on your normal Facebook page. You're not going to want to post a million different things. We want to usually tend to stick with that eye-catching, eye-grabbing thing, because normally people come a lot to our Facebook page along with the website, because usually roughly about, I think we've had almost like 8 to 10 per service watching on Facebook alone, and you can interact. They interacted there what they used to until now they're more in person. But
We had 5 comments on last week's worship service.
it's interesting. So they'll get back and forth and they'll chit chat. They'll be like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And that kind of back in the COVID.
And that's
days,
Facebook?
That's on Facebook.
Or you get a message from your mom.
Yeah, so like, if you're looking for an online worship experience, Facebook's gonna be the one that's most interactive. Because on our Facebook page, all of our live streams appear automatically, and there's a comment section. And so people can comment. Way back in the day, I was on the money because I had my phone up there. I would actually take live prayer requests. That was a little hard to keep up with. I could only do like so many things at one time. But it's fun to see because the McFarlands are typically there and they're gone, and Lori usually mentions hi if she's not here. And
Arlene.
A lot of time people will use Facebook when they're on their phone, that kind of stuff. It's easy, it's quick. But then you have people with home with smart TVs that want to watch at home. I know, like when my parents were home with COVID, watching it on a small screen isn't the greatest. It's like, oh, if I want to watch on the big screen TV, that we usually send them, hey, here's the YouTube link, because we simulcast on YouTube and on Facebook and on the church's website. Because I know the church's website, it's just you can't really pull that up on a smart TV or something like that. So, and sometimes watching on your phone, it's a little hard to read the hymns, that kind of stuff. So sometimes watching it on your TV at home is a little nicer. But
hey, there's Greg.
yeah.
You can
Hi, Greg.
you can project your phone onto your smart TV.
Yes, you can cast it.
If you've reached that level.
If you've mastered the casting, but sometimes it's easier just to be like, I'll just send a text and
Just sharing.
it's just, hey, just go to search South or St. Paul, South Bend on YouTube or whatever, and it's
Yeah, it's pretty easy to find on YouTube. So.
It was
Yeah.
a little clumsy getting it the first time.
yeah.
So
I mean, once you get it, you can
Click
subscribe
click
and you'll
the
get
subscribe
notifications
button.
pushed.
Yeah.
Like
do
your
that.
phone, when Pastor started, that's how I knew we were streaming, because I had notifications that said, you're streaming, St. Paul's is streaming on YouTube right now.
Right.
Oh, okay. So,
So yeah, I just went to YouTube and I searched St. Paul, South Bend. We're the first thing that pops up. You can see our little church.
Well, you're the first, it's the first thing that pops up because you're subscribed to it. If you're not subscribed to it, you might need to.
You get some other.
but yeah, just look for the drawing of our church and it's there, yeah.
How did I get the Messiah revealed?
Because you're not subscribed to it.
Oh, I see.
Also, another quick shout out to Canva.
Yeah, but
I don't know if any of you saw
I get it.
the promotional for Holy Week. I made all those slides on Canva and then put it all together later on.
No, it's right here.
Yeah.
It's this is our website.
I mean, it was all
That was
pre-made
all
stuff.
Canva
It was
slides?
pre-made stuff that was on Canva, but I went and I edited it and made it to what I wanted it to do. But I just did it, rendered it out, and I pulled it into my editing program to do that.
And so this must
But I
be-
mean, most of it was
I don't really watch
pretty much preset.
And what were you thinking, like a PowerPoint Canva then, or?
So I would look, no, you could search video, because it has video
Video,
production you
okay.
can do in there.
Okay.
I mean, you can do, there's so, like, basically, if it's media-based, you can find it on Canva,
Okay.
so. But yeah, it's like I would just search, on Monday if they're doing it, but like Palm Sunday, I just searched Palm Sunday, and I was like, I like that with the shot with that, I'll change the text around, move this around, change the font, that kind of stuff.
Well, the Facebook page, like I was telling you, with Tim, you only have 1 month up there on, as far as activities?
On the website?
Or the website, that's what I want to say.
The website, yeah, because, she was mentioning that the craft fair wasn't.
Well, Tim was saying about getting radio spots for the craft show. And he says he what did you put on the Facebook page and there was, or the website?
Well, the calendars are reviewed at the board meetings usually, so it's not.
So they don't-
It would, after the meeting, it would be up.
The craft show is in the announcement.
It's in there now.
It's on the, it's on the,
Yeah, but he's
it's not on the
saying,
actual.
I don't know what he was saying, something
If you go
about
to the
being on
calendar
the
on the
calendar.
website, I just checked.
Oh,
it
you're
wasn't
talking
on
about
there.
the calendars,
Yeah, the
probably
actual
not
calendar
that. I
is
know.
on the top of the website.
Yeah.
We're hopping around a little too much. Focused. What do you want them to know about Facebook?
So, on doing Facebook posts, usually you want to do something that's quick and eye-catching, like a photo, like after Monday or Good Friday, something like that. That's just quick, eye-catching, that kind of stuff like that. You don't want to get too much text, too much information.
Wow,
just
that's cool.
something that's there and it'll draw their attention. So, but yeah, that's
That had 15 likes and 1 share.
yeah, and that
Share the posts.
yes, please, yeah.
If you log in, if you look at a post, share it. You go to the little thing, you just go share, and you have the option of just sharing it on your page, and then all of your friends see the church's posts. And so sharing is a good thing. The more shares, the more reach that the
If
post
you're at
get.
home and worshiping at home and you want to share our live stream, you can share that on your Facebook page.
That's why YouTubers say, hit that like button.
Hit that
Make
like
sure
button.
you
Yeah,
subscribe.
And if you like this.
It's
hit the like
because
It's all
the more traffic there is on the any social media channel, the more it will show up on other people's
Yes,
pages.
it's the new version of word of mouth, because we're not all connected in person all the time, so sharing
There's the
it.
3 kinds.
Everybody's always, I don't know about you, but sometimes first thing I wake up, I'm sitting there scrolling through Facebook instead of getting ready.
We don't have Facebook.
First thing
Okay.
you wake up is you make coffee.
That's okay, actually. You don't have to.
What about if we don't drink coffee? So,
I check my Facebook notifications.
So yeah, like just quick eye catching. I mean, currently myself and Pastor, I think Doris are the only people that
Cheryl has
posts.
access to right now.
Cheryl does too. But I think she basically just posts stuff about the meals.
Community meals.
But yeah, if
Only certain people have access to the
only
church.
certain people right now have
And that's
access.
gonna stay for right
It's
now.
going to stay like that. If you would like to be a member of that, there are tiers that we can do. Or if you want to, even you could just, now that you're getting your toes wet with Canva, you can, and you find something you want, you can email it to me or let me know, and I can post it for you or something like
Fun
that.
fact, our post of the Confirmand
Oh yeah,
was picked up by the Indiana District of the Lutheran Churches recently.
yeah, they shared it, and I'm still, I feel
We
like
get
we're getting likes every other, like I was just sitting there like, we're still getting likes about confirmation.
page is incredibly active.
Yeah, it's insanely active. But yeah, they posted
They do
all
a
the,
really good job.
they posted all the communion things from Palm Sunday.
We probably have to
They
scroll
have
down a
like
little
about
bit, they've been
6
busy.
or- Yeah.
Of course, President Harrison has to say hello. Say hello, President Harrison.
Hi,
Hello,
President
Harrison.
He's got that Walter Matthau mustache.
He's got the mustache, man.
I just want to hear him say diabetes.
Hey, here's President Douglas. Oh, he had a baptism at Vince.
I can't believe this guy having 3 more grandkids.
Man, we gotta go back a while. They've been so busy. There we are.
There.
Yeah.
Congratulations to 2024 confirmants from around the
And
Indiana
look,
district.
they tagged our page so that people can
Nice.
click and see it and go, but yeah.
And they thought I was a confirmant too.
Well, yeah, because you look so, yeah.
How many likes, or, scroll down, let's see.
Well, this post has 89
89
likes.
likes, 2 shares.
Our photo here specifically had a few.
But, so that's how many people liked it and shared it. Is there a way that you can see how many people like interacted with the post you post?
There is on, because, what is it, Facebook,
Insights.
look at Insights, yeah, but I don't know if this goes on a post-by-post basis or not.
On page, we have 316 followers. Our post reached up to 900 people.
It's a lot of
New
people.
page, yeah. Again, this is like another billboard.
Surprisingly, there's a lot of people that follow our page that aren't even members from outside or whatever. I know
Oh, it's a whole lot of women.
just like from posting about the craft show, there's
Our
about a
license.
handful of people that are vendors that have liked our Facebook page or followed that or followed, you know. Gee, I wonder,
What?
16 people from Spirit Lake, Iowa.
Like our Facebook
Is
page.
there, I don't see any from Cleveland though.
Oh, burn. Who is in charge of the website at the church?
The website,
Currently-
the website.
Currently Pastor Doherty.
No,
is-
currently Doris is. I handed over
Oh, okay.
all of Doris, all that. But this is a good transition to some website information.
Yes.
Because we only have so
Also,
many
can you
minutes.
quickly punch over really quick to Instagram? I apologize.
Yes.
Instagram works right alongside with Facebook, and we do have an Instagram page for church. So I
Who's
know
in
some
charge
people
of
don't
that?
have,
You?
huh?
Are you in charge of that one?
I'm the only one that posts, nobody gives me anything for that, so.
What's the difference between Instagram and Facebook?
Instagram is literally, photos.
I think Donald should answer this one. Because he actually has a degree in this.
Sort of.
Plus, I think I get shared about 3 or 4 Instagram reels
Yeah.
a day from you, so.
From a business perspective, the way that I like using Instagram is for more branding purposes. So like, and because it's picture focused, like every post on Instagram has a picture. Like the first thing you're prompted to do when you're posting on Instagram is add and edit your picture. And
Okay.
pictures are worth 1,000 words. And so that's where you primarily put a lot of branding. With Facebook, the way that I've used Facebook is that it's more for information. But with the way that Facebook and Instagram exist, because they're under one parent company, what you post on Instagram can easily go to Facebook. So you should be posting in both places.
Because these
but-
are cross posts, right? You just posted these once.
No, I didn't. I would individually do them because sometimes the cross post, like, Instagram might take a picture and crop it differently than I would like it to be cropped on Facebook.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
So I'll just
Because
sometimes
Instagram likes that square.
Yes.
Instagram likes the square, or
Square.
if you're trying to do multiple pictures and you have like a vertical one and then also a landscape one too, you have to choose one style or the other. If
Yeah.
you choose like the landscape, it's gonna crop that other image.
So you're handling St. Paul's Instagram.
Oh.
It's St. Paul's Instagram.
Yes, currently it's St.
Okay.
Paul's Instagram. It's st_Paul_SB.
Okay.
I will say, a lot of millennials have moved off of Facebook and
They're on
primarily use
Instagram.
Instagram.
Okay.
So it is.
Because,
And Facebook is gonna be primarily baby
Because
boomer.
their parents got on
demographic.
Facebook and they didn't want to be on the same place as their parents.
I was gonna, so, yeah, it's multiple things. Facebook's much more political, and then
Yeah.
also, millennials love hits of dopamine, and so when you're
Pictures.
scrolling through pictures.
It's like TikTok. You're getting that short.
Instant feel good dog.
Because you don't just have pictures though. You can have what are called reels, which is basically another version of TikTok, which is just or
Short
Facebook
videos.
has it's short little videos that are vertically shot that are just
It
I mean
seems like-
I've put ones out with Lincoln.
Let me try to get some key takeaways here, though, on the social media side. Because, like, how much do you have to think about this? You probably don't have to think that much about it. I mean, if you're engaged in social media, you're engaged in social media. If you're not, you're not. But what you need to know in terms of how we communicate well as a church is that if you have an event, if you're doing the publicity part, there needs to be something that goes on the on the Facebook, because for some people, that's going to be their primary touching point with our church. Ben and Pam Cook? I've never met them. They've never attended since I've been here. They watch Facebook almost every week, and I've gone back and forth with them on Facebook. They interact with St. Paul Lutheran Church via their Facebook page. You know?
So going back to our form, if people are filling stuff out and mark the social media, that's where this other stuff happens. Facebook,
we can,
Instagram, website.
that will be spoken with the person of, hey, do you want it just on Instagram, do you want it on Facebook, that kind of stuff.
You don't necessarily have to do an independent design for Facebook. Posters generally do well on Facebook.
Yeah, so like the flyer that you're creating in Canva is super easy to Facebook post.
Okay.
It's in that PNG format, right?
Right.
So that PNG can get attached to a Facebook post really easily, and then that's your full post.
So I guess what I'm asking as the congregation, if they fill out the form and just mark those boxes, we as evangelism will make sure those other posts are happening.
Yeah, if
They don't need to
they
be
ask for,
worried about that.
if they ask for help with promoting it via
Yeah.
social media.
And mark
yes.
those boxes, we'll take care of it.
As
Okay.
long as there's communication, make sure that someone knows who's doing it, right?
Right.
That's
So
key.
I think right now it's going to the church office, and then what Doris doesn't handle, she sends on to the evangelism.
Yes.
That's kind of the process for that. So just so everybody's up to speed on that and can
And also,
share that with their communities.
briefly, in wrapping up, if it's not promoting an event or anything like that, if there's just something that you feel like that would be cool to be featured about the church alone, or if like,
Or
this
if you
was a
took some
event.
cool pictures that you want to share on the Facebook page, get those those could get posted very easily. At one point, my thought process was maybe if we had like a Google Drive that everyone could dump their photos into, that anyone could access and for posts and things. That's a lot of communication.
So if people do have photos, who should they share those with? The church office?
I would
That's a
say
great
they could
question.
either reach out to the church office, or if they, I mean, we have the directories are out, they could email or contact me to post those, or, because we do still need that kind of filter for if it's appropriate or if it meets our posting standards.
Yeah, we don't want to have like a y'all come approach to whatever is on our official Facebook page.
Right.
Because you can just see it now. You've seen religious posts on Facebook that you probably don't agree 100% with, right? And so someone might think, oh, this is a really awesome post that corresponds 100% to my Christian faith, when it doesn't. That's a long conversation for another day. We don't want that representing the voice of St. Paul, right? And so, especially when it comes to like things of theological nature, it really should come from a few key trusted individuals to make sure that it represents the voice and identity of St. Paul in a good way. But like events, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, you don't have to think too hard about that. Pictures that show ministry that's happening in St. Paul, easy peasy, we can share that
I
very
know
easily.
people have posted, I think Denise has posted stuff before, Krista, like if somebody's performing with the choir, they've shot
Natalie.
that.
Just think about this, especially like Sunday school staff, if you're posting pictures of minors, of kids, you need to make sure you have permission
Yeah.
from their parents.
That's a really hot button
We
thing
do
these days.
when they sign their,
Yeah.
yep. So I think- And adults,
And like, the
Yeah,
ones,
make sure.
the ones that we posted from the Easter egg hunt, the photo booth actually had a permissions thing in there that said they accepted or not, so.
Yep, it's just, in today's day and age, it's something to make sure that you're on top of, because all it takes is one angry parent.
Okay. Let's segue to our last portion, wrap some things up here, some last pieces of information for you. I'll try to be quick in terms of looking just a little
Good job,
bit.
Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
I just want to say,
I Just like a preacher preaching a sermon, I am aware of the time, even if you don't think I always am. So, I want to just head over to our website. First piece is to just make sure you're familiar in general with our website. So if you go to stpaulsb.org, and generally speaking, if you Google St. Paul South Bend, this is the first thing that pops up. At least it should be. Yeah. And my thought process with designing the website was less is more, simple is better in terms of getting information on there. Unless we do get, you get a turbo volunteer that says, I want to think about updating the website every week or every month. But I built it so it didn't necessarily have to be updated every month or so, because the first box you get is our live stream, which automatically turns on anytime we're going live. Even right now, we're going live. It's doing that automatically. I didn't have to push a button. I didn't have to think about it. It's all set up through our Vimeo account. Chris is the master of that. That our Vimeo account controls all of our live stream stuff. This isn't a live stream tutorial. That's like next level, right? But the point is, you don't have to think about it. It automatically happens. Right under there is just a brief description of worship about the live stream. There's my Calendly button that probably needs to be taken off now. And
Not till Sunday.
a button for our Facebook page. Right there, you just click on the Facebook, it'll take you right to our Facebook page. There's a YouTube logo, you click that, it takes us right to the YouTube page. And so, even if you don't like watching the live stream here, there's two other options right there. And then the bulletin button takes us to an updated Google Drive with all of our bulletins back to 2020. And that Doris still faithfully drops the bulletin file in that folder every single week.
Awesome.
And so if you want the bulletin, you just click the bulletins button. You have access to bulletins and the announcement slide document if you want to look at it. There's the 324 one right there. There's the fears, memories, and the glory that comes from God. So you might be behind actually a week.
You know, I just put Easter on there.
Oh, we caught her.
Taking it back, we're taking it back.
3 days off. One of the key things that we've been wanting to highlight just community outward is the community meals. And so I have the latest community meal banner here. And then also there's a little promo video that Chris did a few months ago on the community meals. If you press play, this little video about the community meals will play.
Good job, Chris.
Good job, buddy.
And so, and there's a bunch of people that I don't know if I got permission from when I videoed them, but I interviewed a couple of them, and so they didn't tell me no. So,
I'd like your opinion about something.
what's that?
Well, reading obituaries, it's so interesting to find out things that people do. And if there was originally I saw some newsletters where it was meet your members.
Yeah.
And this would be a perfect medium for meeting your members. Of course, you might have trouble getting people to actually want to.
Yeah, you'd have to have someone to interview them probably.
Yeah.
We did something like that in Spirit Lake where there was like a member highlighted every month in the newsletter.
Uh-huh.
And so there really could be a button for the newsletters too.
Herb, we did talk about that briefly in evangelism, like, especially like even with the board spotlighting the different positions so people know, but we can bring that up again. It was called Meet Your Members.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
You scroll down a little bit more, you get to the announcements. This is the master Google Slides document that is our general announcement slide crawl that happens before and after worship every Sunday. And so that gets updated automatically every week. I shouldn't say automatically. Doris updates it manually, but no one has to go on the website to change it because it's connected directly to the Google document. Every time she changes the Google document, which are usually made in Canva, those designs, it automatically gets updated here. One thing I wish it would do is I wish it would scroll automatically. It doesn't. And so I put this little thing here. It says click the arrows to see what's going on. And so you click through, you can see all of our announcement slides.
Did you take the background out of that picture?
I did.
Good job.
And that's where we are right now. Hopefully it's going to end before 9 o'clock. That's my goal.
There's gotta be a way to
Yeah,
get
that
that
does.
Yeah.
Access to it, we
You
can-
can turn it autoplay when you're on the website through the tools, but the bug from Wix.
It auto scrolls.
Does it?
Yeah,
Did you have to tell it to?
no.
Oh, maybe I just wasn't patient enough.
It's just a lot.
I think isn't there a pretty long delay?
On my phone, it auto scrolls.
Every 2 minutes.
Every
Maybe
2
that's why.
minutes.
Click on where you just were, it said how long.
That was every 2 seconds.
Oh, I thought it said minutes, I'm sorry.
Every 2 seconds.
Oh, no, it's not doing that.
Most weeks, the first slide is the events the events of the week. That's intentional because the first thing that we want people to see is that quick snapshot of what's going on that week.
Yeah.
And that's why that's always the first slide of the slide crawl. And then down here we have a little thing that just explains our affiliation with the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. You can click there, it'll take you right to the LCMS website. But that's our standard page. There's a few other pages, but there's actually very few. Intentionally so, because the more information you put on, the more information you have to update regularly. But again, if there was a webmaster who wanted to take that on of updating it regularly, it would be good. But very simply, there's just some statements, general statements about our beliefs. It's the same ones that are in our bulletin every week.
I just looked at the
And then there's a little blurb about pastor and the staff. This button used to take you to my online scheduling platform. We have that disabled now.
It's no longer found.
It's no longer found. The school button takes you right to the RLA page. So we don't govern the RLA page, they govern that, so we don't have to think about that.
So it's just a link?
It's just a link.
Okay.
You can link anything to anything in our website. The calendar goes to an updated Google Calendar that I won't say automatically because Doris manually updates the Google Calendar, but no one has to log into the website to change it on the website. The Google Calendar just feeds this. And so as updated as that Google Calendar is as updated the website is going to be in terms of our calendar. And then the last button is the video button, which takes you to our Vimeo page, which has the repository of all the live streams we've ever done.
We did discuss about some forms.
Yeah, and so, kind of like how the bulletins are in a Google Doc, a Google folder, we could put the forms that we want people to be able to access into a similar button.
Okay.
And so how do you add a button? Well, why don't we look at that real quick?
Okay.
Very quickly. But I will show you, it's kind of as easy as Canva. So the website that we go to manage our website is Wix.com, and we have a specific login through our St. Paul SB Social that gets us into kind of the background management side of our website. There's a bunch of stuff in here that I haven't even touched. We can do marketing, email campaigns, you can set up your own domains. Haven't touched really that. All I really have used here is the website builder in our making sure that our domain is attached. But if I click edit site in the corner, it's almost like you've opened the website up in Canva. You can drag things, you can text box, you can add elements, you can do everything that we saw in Canva pretty much with our website. You click in, you change things, you move things around. The tools are a little different, but they're also very intuitive. So I could grab this, I could move the live stream around. I'm gonna click it over here, I'm gonna go undo, so it doesn't stick. But I can drag anything around, put anything around. This button takes us to the About Us page. Well, like I said, I like to copy and paste things. So I'm going to take that and copy and go over here, paste it. I have another button. I'm just going to change this button
To be
and say,
forms?
what?
To be forms?
Yeah, forms.
Oh, wow, okay.
Forms. Oh, I went all caps on that button, so I should keep all caps.
Right.
That would be consistent. And then I could set a link here. And then I could go to web address, and that's where I could put a Google Drive link to a folder that we haven't made yet.
Okay.
That would be
Did you
the
get that,
folders.
Doris?
But so I just copied that button, but I could have gone just as easily to this plus panel that says add element.
Okay.
And then you get all kinds of different things that you can add to the website. You can add text, like a text box. You can add images. I've uploaded a good number of images that have been used for the website. And then button. You can find a button. Try to find the same kind of button, though. You want the buttons to look alike. Consistent inside our language. But I found this button over here in this world at some point. I might have tweaked it for the website. I don't remember. It's been years since I updated the design. But that's how that works. You can add another strip. A strip is kind of like a dedicated document piece. So let me explain that a little bit. So this header is its own strip that can be edited. See how it has its own tools that popped up? I can click it. I could change it, and like what we would do is change the video there. It used to be a video of Christmas and Mary on a ladder. Before that, I think it was me and Mike serving communion for a while back in the day. Was the video there. But this strip is its own world. So I come down here, click here. This is its own strip. So it's like a little mini document. That's how Canva website, not Canva, but Wix websites are made of strips.
Okay.
A page is made of different strips. And so that's going to be the different elements you add to your web page. And so then in here you can move the text box, you can change the text box, you can do anything. But it's very much like Canva in that you play.
How often do you think a website should be updated?
It depends on the level of engagement. Like, I don't think you want, like, how much time do you think you will spend on a website if you were researching a church? You probably don't want to spend an hour in there reading a bunch of stuff, but you want to get a quick idea of what that church is like. You might click the last live stream to just kind of get a feel of it.
Yep.
You might go to the staff page just to see what the pastor looks like. My mind is you kind of want to keep a website down to your expectation is that people will be engaging with it for 10 to 15 minutes max.
Maybe look at the bulletin.
Yeah, you can go and look at the bulletin, or it's task focused. Sometimes people will come to the website with an expectation. Typically it's going to be the people who regularly use it. People who are checking the calendar because they don't remember where they put their newsletter calendar, and so they're going to just go on their phone to the calendar on the website. And so it's very task focused. So you want to think through the use cases. You want to think about also the eyes of the person who's discovering your website and kind of optimizing the website for what they actually really want to find. And so you can go too much very quickly with a website, but you should have recent photos, make sure that nothing is out of date in terms of who's on your staff page, and so to speak. Donald, you had a point.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, recent photos, but not even just your staff page and stuff, but also use active members, people who they are going to see on a regular basis, so that they can have some sort of expectation of, okay, these people are going to be there when I get there. that's something RLA is currently working on. We have pictures of students from like 10 years ago. Those kids don't go to the school anymore.
Right.
So like, if for Sunday school, you want recent Sunday school pictures, those should be like updated like annually.
But you know what, there was like 5 years where Concordia Seminary's publication, highlighted all of the most photogenic classmates of mine, and I was never one of them.
Well, that's something.
We don't have
No, we don't, that's something that could be added.
I
That's
think
something,
that would be important.
that's something that
What's that?
definitely should be
A
added.
Sunday school tab
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or you could have.
Yeah.
or education.
I think I have created one
Yeah.
back in the day, but again, one of the reasons why it's so simplified is because I didn't have the bandwidth to think about it all the time. And so part of the democratization of this information is that, you can think about what you want on the website. Doris has the access funnel to it. I think Chris does too, because you just log in through SB Social. Yeah. Chris has access to it too.
It's been a while
But we
since
can
I used
also, I found when I was looking through it that you can assign, if,
You could like bring in people.
right, and they would only have this part they could
In
keep
administration.
updated.
It's like
updated.
Facebook and all those places. You can have, in Canva, you can have people, like the administrators, or they only have like viewing tools.
Right,
and
but then you
editing.
could divide it up and say,
Minimal
okay,
editing.
Lori's gonna do this, and Duran's gonna do this, and,
But the critical information has to be updated. People who are, like if I go on vacation, I go to a church and go, okay, so when do they have their church service?
Yes.
And it says, we're 9:30, and then you look and they were last updated in 2018.
right,
Right.
You know, and
right, no, I
so you need to have the current information
kept
kept
updated,
up to
right.
date.
One of the things that provides a lot of, I would say, confidence in that is like if you feel good that it's up to date, go down and I actually haven't done it since 2020, but change the copyright date, the year, because I know I've done that before when I've been suspicious that something is out of date. I go down and it's like, oh yeah, this wasn't updated since 2013. I'll just go ahead and do it now since I'm here, 2024. Because it is up to date aside from the staff changes that will be made. And we're gonna go ahead and delete that button right away. And I'm gonna go ahead and delete the forms button right now because there isn't a form repository yet. But it won't be hard to get it there.
I just think it would be nice.
And so when you're done changing it, the key is you have to make sure you push the publish button so that your changes will actually hit. But to make sure that you didn't break the thing, you can press the preview button and it'll give you a look at what the live site
Oh,
looks like.
so if you had something off center or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you're using preview, just watch yourself and make sure that you don't forget that you're on preview.
Yeah,
Don't forget to hit publish.
yeah.
'Cause
Go back to
If you don't hit
editor.
publish, your changes don't go live.
One thing that I have forgotten at times, but I think it's good now, there's a button over here that shows that you can change to the mobile view of the website. How the website looks like on someone's smartphone, which is important because
Right.
websites are different.
It makes a big difference.
And so there's a tailored version of the website that comes up on smartphones. It's pretty good about automatically kind of changing the design for you, but you have to check it to make sure there aren't tweaks. Because I had to go in and change like the size of
Yeah.
different strips and things. Almost like when you open up a Word document in another program, it kind of makes things wonky. You have to go in and make sure it looks good. And so whenever there are changes made to the website, you just have to go check the mobile side, and if you have to kind of move things around to make it look nice, you gotta make sure you can do that.
Make sure that buttons are big enough. text is
Yeah,
big
yeah,
enough.
if the buttons are not overlapping an image accidentally or something like that. I think I had to rearrange this entire box just to make everything fit nice when I put that together.
Why is it all black?
Yeah, I don't know why the video.
That's because
just
the
isn't-
video starts in black.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Look,
not,
if
it's not,
preview
it's
it.
not gonna let the video play during
Oh.
the
Yeah,
editor.
not while you're editing it.
And so, I think we're good, so. So all I did is change the number at the bottom, and I'm just gonna hit publish.
You remember?
And congratulations, your site is published and live online. Again, I mean, it's a suite of pretty easy to use tools. I could see a world where someone's responsible for the Christian Ed page. And so they're given permission to come in and edit that page. Maybe Chris could look over it to make sure nothing's broken, you know. You know, that more people can be given access to participate in this process.
Awesome.
Any questions about that? All right, then.
But I agree with Eric when he says about people, you know, if you're vacationing or you're looking for a new church or something, it's very important, because that's their first place they're gonna go nowadays to look
We
at
don't
stuff.
mention a word about donuts on Sunday morning, maybe that would help.
You know,
Yeah, that's a big draw.
that is a big role.
But also too, activities like the egg hunt, if you have that, then they should have pictures or, you know, a few pictures so they can see that we followed through and not just 10 kids turned out, you know,
Yeah.
so we can see this and that.
Yeah, celebrating our events is always important.
Yeah.
Celebrating is key, and the photos can help celebrate. You know, try to remember to get like, you know, someone who's at the event. Maybe, you know, on the plan, on like, say, let's take the Easter egg hunt for an example. You know, so that the onus is on everybody. Maybe one person is a photographer, media person for that event.
I think that's really important because the people that want the pictures are doing it.
Yeah.
And then you're two, I think it's important to, like, we had her do the confirmation because, right, we're busy, so.
And so then
That's
those photos can get, they can go through the whole pipeline. The
Right.
photos can get on projector slides. You know, they can go on the Facebook page. They can help celebrate the event. But it's a lot of follow through and someone remembering to do this thing after that thing. And it needs to be a shared kind of weight.
Well, it's an ever-changing thing too, because I know when we have like Sunday school meetings, it's like, oh, this idea sounds good, this sounds good, and then you leave the meeting and it's like, wait a minute, we forgot we were doing this, you know, so you're constantly, it's a job. You're working at it, so.
Unpaid, but paid well.
Double all of your.
Double all our salary.
Any questions or anything you want to know from me on this?
Thank you for doing
Yeah,
this.
thank you. This has
Thank you.
been very informative.
Good. I'm glad it could be helpful. You know, there's more weeds always to dig into. Like, you know, like I said, we didn't touch the live stream side completely. You know, there's a whole apparatus by how that works. But Chris, pretty much, I think he's good to go on all the things in terms of the live stream and
I'm sorry, I'm
video system.
I'm editing a new video for, I just saw the post that it was.
Oh, you're good, you're good. I did have a bonus activity if we have time, I think we gotta wrap up, but I was gonna show you kind of what I do with the AI tools, but
Yeah, do it.
very
Just
quick,
a quickie.
very quick. So,
Are you gonna teach us how to code in Python?
no, I mean, if you want to.
I'll keep it.
So, the primary AI tool I use is really the leader in this space. It's OpenAI. And their ChatGPT-4 with the DALL-E image creation model. It is a paid model. I've been a bad boy and I've been paying for it myself, but I use it enough in other areas of my life I haven't worried about it.
That's the only one I have so far.
But what I'll do is, for example, let's see, this week is Doubting Thomas as the gospel message, although I'm switching it out, but let's see, illustrate an image of Jesus showing Thomas his hand with the nail wound in a first century home in Jerusalem. And then this is my magic sauce. Illustrate an image in an expressive ink art style with bold lines
Holy
and
moly.
muted colors. I add that to all of my prompts to keep my design consistent. And we'll see what the first one comes out. The first one usually isn't the winner. Usually it takes a lot of iteration.
Is this website free?
No, I pay a $20 a month.
So regular chat GPT is to have it do images and stuff like that, and more specific stuff you have to actually pay.
So this was the first shot.
Enjoy your bulletin cover this Sunday, because after that, unless Pastor Feetner and Pastor Brenner are gonna figure it out.
So that's pretty good for a first shot.
That's really good.
Yeah, I like
The
that.
faces in the background aren't even creepy.
Jesus has one toe.
Well, Jesus, so we do have an error with the toe, and that guy is kind of like a ghost back there. But
Thomas's eye is a little.
that was pretty good.
He's surprised.
So that's one of the things that this can do. But when Leah will come up, she'll say, I want to see a pony with a ribbon on its head. Colorful cartoon.
She knows how to spell colorful.
It'll do that. This isn't searching the internet, this is generating novel images based on a database of learned knowledge.
It's having more trouble. I was gonna say it's having more trouble with the pony than with.
Huh.
Oh,
That doesn't look like a pony.
Yes, it does.
It looks like my little pony.
Hey, is this based on you and you're asking, or general AI knowledge?
What do you mean?
Will it learn him?
It's
Is it learning him?
That's the question.
It will follow, it will keep memory within a conversation. So that's one of the areas that they're really pushing right now. They want to get to agents that ultimately have long memories, but no, this is just accessing the model raw. I just know the model well enough to know how to ask it to give me what I want it to give me.
And you really, by saying those things, your options are brought down, right?
Mhm. And so that was a very simple prompt. If I was to develop this one for Sunday, I would end up making a more detailed prompt so that we can make sure that we have a more accurate depiction of the background, make sure that the posture is specific enough so that we're not getting weird hand things. Sometimes it's just a paragraph, sometimes it's up to 3 paragraphs of description to get exactly the image I want.
So if you wanted to adjust that image, would you reuse the same prompt with more?
You can actually edit the prompt and change parts of the prompt and reissue the command.
Okay.
And so I do that a lot. Sometimes though, because it has memory, it'll get fixated on a specific error and keep on repeating it. So I'll take my prompt and I'll drag it into a new conversation.
Okay.
Just to kind of give it a fresh mind about it.
Like a new set of eyes.
Yeah. But no, that's really the secret sauce. I mean,
Pastor Feeder's on it.
We're on it, we're working on it.
He's taking notes.
But again, I started as an experiment for me. I subscribed because I have an interest in the AI technology. I want to see its limits. I was using it for other things. I was using it for illustrations for a D&D project. I was using it for various other things. And then one Sunday, last November, I think, I said, well, I don't have a good image that I found for the bulletin and for the slides. What if I see if I can get one? And I started getting some bangers. And over the months, I got better at it. Like, there was less errors with it. There was more fine tuning to it. And then what I would do is I'll take this image, I'll take it into Canva, and then I'll edit it in Canva even further. And that's how you get the typeset text that I put in those images. Like, I'm transforming the image quite a bit to provide the final product on the bulletin cover.
So AI's not learning him.
So he put that fear.
I'm learning how to manipulate it for my whims.
It's manipulating you. It's learning, teaching you how to It's manipulated.
It might be.
So are you manipulating artificial intelligence, or is artificial intelligence manipulating you?
It's probably both
Yes.
ways, like any good relationship.
It's a little bit longer.
Any questions about that? I thought that might be fun.
Great job.
It does more than images, and it's actually kind of scary. I don't ask them to write sermons for me.
Yeah.
No, I don't, because I think there's a real line there. But it will give you a full sermon outline if you ask. And, I mean, it will give you ideas if you ask. It will give you the text.
The more ethical way to do that is if you ask for a lesson plan. It'll help you find, it'll give you what we have in the classroom on Sundays, and then you still have the creative license to implement it in.
So, some way I have used it is for brainstorming. I'll ask it questions. It'll give me answers. And then I'll keep on tweaking it to kind of just explore different ideas. Now, I've taken those ideas and I've implemented them in sermons before, but you've never heard a sermon from me where I've read anything word for word, nearly at all, none at all that its text is given. It just has a line that I.
Well, and what I learned from you, you really don't have it word for word, you have
No.
ideas.
I have an outline.
Surprise!
I have a very thorough outline.
Hannah and I use ChatGPT to work on the Christmas program for ideas.
Yeah.
We gave it some prompts of okay, give me a script kind of using this many, this many characters about this age, for this age group. And then we had it generate a few ideas, and we didn't use the full thing of each. We changed character names, changed lines as needed, and it was.
Well, anytime you can have ideas.
Yeah.
I mean.
One of the things that people ask is about the reliability of these models now. They've gotten to the point that they pass law exams at a faster clip than law students do. They're intelligent enough to the point that their error rate is a lot smaller than it used to be even a year ago. And it's getting scary, and the world's going to change because they're going to keep getting smarter. And I don't know where it's going to go, but for right now,
Well,
it's a
they're
good
not,
tool.
that's not a person.
No.
It doesn't have feelings,
It
so
doesn't.
I can't imagine.
So exactly what this does.
Oh, geez, come on.
What it does is it's a very smart mathematical algorithm that does predictions on the next word. So you'll give it a prompt, it will construct the most likely answer to that question based on its algorithm and training data. It's not thinking about the whole answer, it just thinks about what the next likely word is that contributes to the whole. And so it does the same thing with images by processing pixels. It thinks about units of the image, and it constructs an image based on what will be the most likely outcome that will fit the desired prompt. So that's how these work. There's not like an artificial brain back there. It's just a mathematical algorithm that's crunching data to generate novel responses to questions and prompts.
Well, I think like anything can be abused.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be smart enough to,
And the printing press absolutely was abused. Sometimes by the reformers and by the reformers of adversaries.
So if you put in who's the next president for 2024 election, picture of it, who's they gonna bring up?
It'll be very cagey and not give you an answer because they put a lot of tight-lipped controls on it.
like when you ask Google where she lives, I don't understand what you're asking me.
Any last questions? Let's wrap this up.
Just
Hannah.
kind of quick, AI can also be helpful if, say you are presenting at Bible study or you're working on a sermon, you could put in your 3 points and say, brainstorm titles for this, because catchy titles are hard to come up with. Another thing is if you have the really good social media image or the really good social media poster that you made on Canva and you're just not really sure what to say, AI can give you some ideas for that too. So again, you want to make it personal so it actually fits the culture of the church, but it gives you a good outline that you can then adapt.
And even if you were to do that, I would rewrite it using your words and the brand voice that your organization.
Because right now, the AI doesn't learn that.
Right.
Next year, it probably will. But that's for next year.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Why don't we close with Luther's evening prayer?
Yes.
Duran does.
If you don't know it, then, just listen and pray along. I thank you, my heavenly Father, through Jesus Christ, your dear Son, that you have kept me this day from all harm and danger. And I pray that you would forgive me all my sins where I have done wrong, and graciously keep me this night. For into your hands I commend myself, my body and soul, and all things. Let your holy angel be with me, that the evil foe may have no power over me. Amen. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you for